Let's get more now from Jonah, who's live from Athens. Jonah, does this huge gamble spell political trouble for Papandreou?
Yes, I think it does, and I think that's happening. If he was trying to reassert his authority over the party, that it seems to be having very much the opposite effect. This announcement by the Prime Minister of a referendum seems to have come as a surprise even to his own cabinet. There are reports he didn't even confer with his ministers over this. He certainly didn't give away any hints or clues about it in the marathon talks last week in Brussels with his fellow Eurozone leaders, but it seems that within his own socialist party he is suffering the most damage here on Tuesday. During the course of the day, some 6 socialist MPs have called for his resignation. They've called for a unity government to be followed by general elections. At least 3 MPs have openly now withdrawn their support. One of those has actually defected from the party. Of course, he faces this no confidence vote in Parliament on Friday. And assuming it is a full House vote of all 300 parliamentarians, he needs 150 plus 1 vote in order to survive. And that's all that he's got on paper at the moment. He needs every single seat. And there are rumours that there are others among his socialist MPs who are considering their position. So it is looking possible, at least, that Papandreou will not survive the confidence vote on Friday. That would mean the government has fallen. There would then be the possibility that the socialists might be asked to form some sort of a coalition. If they can't, the opposition Conservatives, the New Democracy Party, might have a go. And if that fails, then there would be general elections. The referendum would go by the wayside, but of course the election, if that were to come to pass, would in effect be a referendum fought over the most pressing question here in Greece, the economic future and the bailout package.
Well, if this bailout package referendum does go ahead, how likely is it that he would win it anyway?
Well, deeply uncertain, and again, on paper, at first glance, it looks most unlikely that the referendum would pass with a yes vote in favour of the bailout package. The thing is that there are 60%, according to a new poll, of Greeks who are opposed to the austerity package. But on the other side of that coin, there is a broad consensus in the country that Greece is better off inside the euro than outside of it. Now, the problem is they can't have both. And if this goes to a referendum, what Mr. Papandreou would need to hope is that they can convince in the next 2 months the Greek public that by saying no to austerity, by saying no to more reforms, by saying no to the debt relief being offered by the banks, they would effectively be saying no to Greece's membership of the euro as well. And if he can convince them of that, then there is perhaps just a chance that he might be able to get this referendum through. The consequences of failure, of course, could be catastrophic for this country. A messy default on its debts would lead to the closure, the collapse perhaps of banks, the losses of savings and of pensions, and of course the wider ramifications for the Eurozone as a whole. The end of this debt relief package hammered out and praised greatly last week in Brussels.